Once you've decided what content is going to be included into your speech, and you have focused on your premise or central theme, you are ready to learn how to organize your content into a strong structure. Your talking points prove your premise. Your content and discussions are organized into chunks. As you are putting together your content into logical chunks based on your talking points or points of wisdom, here are some suggestions of how you can put them together. The first chunking example. Once you introduce an idea, add a needed explanation, next an example of how your idea would apply, then the application for this audience. Here's an example. An idea is, our goal as a speaker is to speak to be remembered and repeated. This often means going against what is usually done. For example, use time as a setup phrase. Add a needed explanation. When you talk about a unit of time, as in today, in the seminar, in January of 2012, your comments will be more memorable if you go against common practice and put them at the beginning of the sentence. This is called a setup phrase. The setup is always at the beginning of your sentence. An example. If we were to turn on CNN, you would hear a phrase put together traditionally, and it would sound like this. President Obama gave a speech on healthcare at Yale University yesterday. If you use the Fripp technique of time is a setup phrase, it sounds like this. Yesterday, at Yale University, President Obama gave a speech on healthcare. Follow the model of when, where, who, what happened. What happened goes at the end as it is the more important part to remember. It's more important than was it yesterday or the day before? Was it Yale or Harvard? In your own presentation, you will have higher retention if you consistently practice this time as a setup phrase technique. The usual way sounds like this. You will be learning audience involvement techniques today. However, the Fripp version, in the next 4 hours, you will be learning audience involvement techniques. You can see how we added time at the beginning and specifics. 4 hours is the length of the seminar. Today is really 24 hours. The second chunking example, you might take a historical view of your content. For example, if you're talking about your sales career or technology or a company's history, you can organize your content in this order. What was in the past, what is happening now in the present, and what we're looking forward to in the future. Here is an example. Welcome to the January Sales Conference. As you reflect on our rich 3-year sales results, it becomes very clear that your efforts are paying off. Last year, you produced 5 times more sales than we predicted. It is appropriate to celebrate your success. However, after our celebrations, we cannot allow ourselves to become complacent. The sales goals for this year are you getting the hang of this? The third chunking example. It would not be unusual for you to have an audience of various mixes of disciplines or divisions of a company or professionals from different companies or industries. For me, in my speaking schools and coaching camps, the audience is made up of professional speakers, would-be professional speakers, business professionals, and sales professionals. In this case, you need to make sure the content of your talking points includes how they relate to your content. For example, here is a point of view of HR, payroll, and IT. As we introduce our new payroll system, you can feel confident that it will make your workload easier. For our friends in HR, you'll be able to stay more compliant with less time invested. For our payroll professionals, you can spend less time answering your employees' frequent questions. For our IT heroes, thank you for your work on this project. As you work long hours to make this happen on time and under budget, you will all receive 2 extra vacation days with pay. Let us all congratulate them. Is this helpful?